Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 491 of Screw the Commute podcast. We're here with part of Vetpreneur Month. Every September, we really want to highlight all our wonderful veterans and all the great entrepreneurial things that they're doing. And so we have Niurka Castaneda here. I hope I got that right. And she's a mom. She's a veteran entrepreneur. She's an explorer. She's a world traveler. And she's a TV host of Amor Umbrella TV. And we'll get her to tell you about that. And another thing that she calls herself is a multi-potentialite. And I had to look that up to see if that was a real word, and it is. So we'll get her to tell us about that. Now, how'd you like me to send you big checks? Well, if you're in our affiliate program, you can make anywhere from $8.50 to, in excess of $5,000 for certain speaking engagements and anywhere in between. So if you're interested in that, email me at tom@screwthecommute.com and we'll give you details. Now pick up a copy of our automation ebook. This ebook has saved me enormous amounts of keystrokes. We actually estimated it at 7.5 million keystrokes over the years. And that was 2 years ago. So it's way more than that now. And that's just one of the tips in this book. And it helps you ethically steal customers from your competitors that are too slow to get back to people, and it knocks your workload down like crazy. So pick up a copy at screwthecommute.com/automate free, screwthecommute.com/automate free. And while you're over there, pick up a copy of our podcast app at screwthecommute.com/app. That's APP. You can put us on your cell phone and tablet and take us with you on the road. Now, besides trying to do some good with Vetpreneur Month, my school is got a pilot program going to help persons with disabilities. And we actually have 2 slots left, and I'm hoping some veterans apply. And we're doing a GoFundMe campaign to finance the whole deal. And we're also going to use some of the money to hire persons with disabilities to help run the program. So when I say it's a pilot program, that means I'm going to prove the concept that I can get these people trained at a distance so they don't have to, get in wheelchairs and 2 of the people are blind and just fight to get to school. They can do it all at home. And once we get them hired and or start their own business or both, then I'm going to roll it out really big to try to get foundations and big companies to roll it out big to help loads of persons with disabilities. So that's what we're doing. Love to have your help with the GoFundMe campaign. So visit imtcva.org/disabilities. You don't have to think about that. It's in the show notes. You can just click on it. Click on the GoFundMe campaign and you can see some of the people that are in there. It's really inspiring. The one guy did an update video and he can't even see the camera. Took him a week to do it, but he just would not quit. And he got a beautiful video update to tell us all the stuff he's learning. So you'll see that over there too. So check it out, and any little bit you can help is great. All right, let's get to the main event. Niurka Castaneda is an Army veteran and media host of Amor Umbrella TV. That's a TV show that is set in giving and restoring hope one story at a time, and in order to help heal and empower our military families to live in alignment with who they are and who they can be. Niurka, are you ready to screw the commute?
I'm ready.
You're ready.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I was thrilled to see the story of what you're doing. But the first thing I got to ask you is, what the heck is a multi-potentially light? What is that?
Yeah, I still have trouble pronouncing it. Well, that's a person that has multiple talents and skills, and they get really good at it. And they get passionate about something, and then they try something else, and they become really good at it, and they just keep moving on. It's just, that question that we get when we're children: what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
Uh, that kind of put us in a little box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people, maybe they have an answer, that's fine. But there's some people that don't have one single answer. I know my list was about 100 things I wanted to do at that time. I think I'm getting through the list.
Well, yeah, there's another crazy answer for that question of what do you want to be when you grow up? And people say, well, don't worry if your kids don't know because it probably hasn't been invented yet. There's so
Probably.
much change, yeah. And so when I did read about that, I thought, that's me too, because I just have, I've excelled in quite a few different things, and I'm too bored to do one thing all the time. I'm always trying to learn and do something new. I've got all kinds of interests and skills, and so okay, so that's what that is. Now, let's talk about this Amor Umbrella TV. Now, you have an umbrella that's shaped like a heart. How the heck did you get that to happen? Did you just take scissors to a regular one, or what? How did you get it?
No, it's actually the product was already out there. Funny enough, I had a class project when I went back from the army back to school, and we had to build a class project around one product. It has to be a global product. And so when I did my research, I came across this heart-shaped umbrella. I love umbrellas. I've been all over Europe, Asia, even South America, where umbrellas are a fashion statement.
Oh,
And I like hearts. So I saw this heart-shaped umbrella, like, wow, that's perfect, right? So instead, I made it for real. I decided, okay, this is not just going to be a class project. I'm going to make it to a real business. What it really got me was it sparked my creativity, right? That's how it got me in entrepreneurship, because okay, how I'm going to make this work? It's a heart-shaped umbrella, but here, like, people can go buy a $5 umbrella, right?
right.
And it's a throwaway object, but I didn't want it to be just a throwaway object. And I look into what it means. Umbrella means shelter. Heart is the universal symbol for love. When you put it together, it just means hope. And I started telling the story because that's what it was about me, about the company. It was just about hope.
Did you get them imprinted with Amor, or they just are they different colors or what?
So we have red and pink, and they come with the logo Amor Umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually turned it into a TV show that we just launched early this year.
Amazing. So before we talk about the show, since this is an entrepreneurial show, people would want to know, like, okay, how did you source the umbrella? How did you get it printed? Did you have to buy thousands of them? What are the business parts of turning that idea into reality?
Well, lucky enough, I had 25 years of logistical experience in the military.
Yeah, but I thought that you were in charge of food, weren't you?
I was in charge of a lot of things. I
Oh,
was in
okay.
charge of, repairing, sourcing, getting rid of stuff that were obsolete or that needed repairs. So that was my whole background. I had different positions. When I went back to school, I actually, that's one of my degrees, is a bachelor in supply chain management. And that was the class project. So, yeah, that's why we had to go source globally, because we're supposed to do a global supply chain from scratch.
I see.
And yes, and so yes, I had to figure out what was the MOQ. We have to build
Wait, what
everything.
was what?
The MOQ, the minimum quantity
Okay.
that we were needed to order.
Uh-huh.
We also had to, when we go to a store, we got the product, we pick it up. The product's already made for you. It's pre-packed,
right.
It has all the tags, everything. When you actually ordering a product, you have to make sure everything is to your specification. That means the tag, that means the packing, the design, the measurements. So all that is very involved process. And then you have to deal with the shipping. You have to find the one that's the most affordable or the fastest, depending on what you need, and deal with all the delays. Like when I ordered mine, that's when we got hit with the trade wars. That means my shipment got stuck in Hong Kong a month.
Oh,
Yeah. So after it was paid, after it was already, we had to do the quality, all the other stuff that we had to go through just to get it manufactured. So there's a lot of details involved in acquiring any product.
did they try to charge you extra for shipping because it got stuck? Because I remember when COVID hit, a lot of suppliers were saying the shipping charges were going crazy for products that they had normally paid a certain amount, and then it's 3 times or 4 times the shipping amount.
Well, luckily, not. I'm sure they did some kind of way, but not because I already have paid the bill and the Chinese side. So the only thing I had left to pay was the taxes and the shipment over here.
Is there custom fees when they come in the country?
Yeah, and that get held as well another 3 weeks over here in Miami.
Wow, so you got almost 2 months delay.
3 months, almost.
3 months, wow, amazing.
Yeah, yes. So, and that's something else to take to understand, that when you order, and you might be a small business and you order from another country, they got different holidays. So especially in China, they got like a whole month to take off.
Wow.
So don't have them do anything. And also when it gets close to Christmas time, and that means almost 3 months before Christmas time, who orders the Walmart, Amazon, they get preference.
Right.
So your order is going to get put in the back burner. So that's something else to take into consideration.
Amazing. That's why I like to sell ebooks and digital products, because it's just electrons.
Yeah, less complicated.
So I thought I saw somewhere where some of the profits go to something. What's that all about?
Yeah, so right now, we actually sponsor of an event that's coming up in the next couple months called She Talks. They're going to be in Arizona, in Texas, and later in Florida.
It's called She Talks, SHE.
Yeah, She Talks.
She Talks, okay.
And it's hosted by Lead and Empower Her.org nonprofit. And what they do is they empower females. They give them a voice to talk and to be the better self, right?
I thought that females have no trouble talking.
Yeah, but sometimes we need to feel like we are being listened to.
Well, yeah, you ought to have an event called He Listens. That'd be much easier than the She Talks. Or it's probably harder.
Yeah. So, I really identify with that organization because one of the things they do is that they actually give back to female veterans.
I see.
And they help them with education and just transition. I'm a female veteran, so I can identify with that. So for this, in support of these events, we actually donating 50% of every sales on our umbrellas.
Oh, amazing. Now, how do they find these umbrellas?
They can go to amorumbrella.com.
Oh, okay.
And I can send you the link.
Yeah.
Amor is the Spanish translation of love. Umbrella.
Yeah, that's easy, and we'll have it in the show notes too. So how did that evolve into a TV show?
Well, when COVID hit, we had to everything slowed down, of course, and fashionable umbrellas were not something that everybody was rushing to go get.
Right. Yeah, for in the house.
Right, but it gave me everything slowed down a little bit, so it gave me opportunity to reassess everything and dig down exactly what it meant and what I was doing it. And for me, always being about hope. It's about giving hope one way or another. So I started my own podcast, and that kind of got me, you know, in the front of the camera. I got familiar with it. And then somebody told me, okay, do you want to be a TV? You want to have a TV show? Like, yeah, why not?
Why not?
Now I can have a bigger impact.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything I was doing, I just going to be able to reach a lot more people and do a lot more good. So that's what I call it Amor Umbrella, because that was the basis of everything and what my show stands for. Because every time we tell stories, people listen. We are conditioned to, right? From the first time that we hear Once Upon a Time. So I want to go and tell the stories of the organizations, individuals that are giving back to our military community and veteran community. And they doing something to better the life, because with the hope that when somebody's looking for help and they use, they going down to that hole and they don't know where to turn, and they take those desperate measures, we can avoid that, because we're going to be highlighting exactly where the help is at when they need it.
Beautiful, beautiful idea. That's for sure. Now you came
Thank
from
you.
Cuba, right?
Yes.
So
I grew up in Cuba.
how old were you when you left Cuba?
I was 18.
Did you have to like swim, or how did you get out of there?
I was one of the lucky ones that actually got to fly in a plane. I came with my family, and we actually we came the legal way. That means we took a long time to get here. I
Right.
was actually 4 years old when my parents did all the paperwork, and we left when I was 18 earlier because of the Guantanamo scene was going on at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and a year later, that's when I joined the military.
I see. But you've got a lot of education. Did you do it while you're in the military or after you got out, or what? You got an MBA and everything.
I got 2 bachelors. I actually no, I went back to the college once I left the military. That was my plan C. and I just started studying, and it was different this time. When I was in the military, sometimes we had to move so much that it's hard to go to college. And then we have all these benefits. So I decided to use my benefits before they expire.
That's great.
So I went back to college, and it makes sense to get the degree on what I had experience on. But once I was there, I realized that I wanted to learn more, and that's when I started my company. And like every class I took from that moment on, it was just another way to build my company.
Right.
Because I was getting mentors, I was getting feedback. I was building while I was there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, use your school to do your business. That's what my school is too. A lot of people are using what they learn in their own business as they go. So it's not just learning concepts and not applying them. They're applying them directly, and that's very efficient and a smart way to do things. Now, what do you remember about, and how would you contrast life in America with what you spent 18 years in Cuba?
Opportunity. There's something that you cannot find in Cuba or in a lot of other countries around the world. But here, it's up to you. You have to fight for it to make it happen, but you have the opportunity to make it happen. That's a totally different thing where in Cuba, sad enough, you got engineers that they have to work in hotels to get tips just to survive.
Wow.
And people, yeah, they might have a college degree or whatever. It doesn't necessarily mean that they choose what they were going to study, because it's to the needs to the government. It's not what they need. And there's a lot of ways on that. Because if we're not passionate about what we do, how good are we going to be?
Right. Exactly. So yeah, there's a lot of turmoil there, and I hope things work out for many of the people over there. No,
Yeah.
you're based in Miami, or that's just where you are today?
Yeah, that's my home. I work from the military and my family's here. And so that's where I came back to.
Yeah, it's I know there's been a
Mhm.
lot of protesting in DC and support for the Cuban people, so we're all thinking about them for sure. Now, so tell us about some of the episodes on your TV show, what they've been about, and who was on it, and so forth.
Well, we launched actually with a Stephen Khan and Lane Belong. We traveled all the way to Peru to meet them in person.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw part of that episode. Those are friends of mine. I really you couldn't have picked two better people.
I know it was amazing. I knew Odeng. I was actually part of the tribe, and I've been watching what they've been doing. You know what they've been building to help entrepreneurs, veteran entrepreneurs, and so I traveled all the way to Peru to meet them in person and talk about what they're doing. They have the veteran empowerment movement, so other veterans can meet them as well. Because I think sometimes we when we transition, the only choices almost to a point is getting a job.
Right.
But not every veteran is fit to have a job. Because when you're dealing with civilians that are disrespectful, when they're just watching the clock to get out, and you used to always be active, maybe you're always being in the field, or you're being in special forces or doing something else, being in office stuck for 8 hours, that's super hard. You know, and on top of whatever mental and physical challenges that they have. So entrepreneurship is actually a very valid answer for a lot of them because you get to make the rules as long as you adhere to whatever the society dictates, right? But you get to choose who you work with. You get to make your own environment, and you can translate a lot of the skills that you learn in the military to apply to entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and a lot of people coming from the military have hidden disabilities that
A lot.
yeah, you can't. They look fine, but inside, from what they've experienced and seen and done, it could be very devastating. So they're being an entrepreneur, they're able to avoid those situations better than if they were stuck in going to a job, I guess.
Yeah, it's a way to manage the triggers because we all have trauma, but usually veterans have a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and sometimes it's about the triggers. And I know for me, like when somebody talks to me disrespectful, I have a problem with that. Um, so I prefer to avoid those kind of people at all
Oh,
costs.
yeah. Me too. I mean, I've never had a job myself. I'm not been in the military. I mean, I was in an ROTC in college, and that didn't work out very well. and then I got an appointment to the Naval Academy, and then I went up to visit, and I saw people jogging to class, and I said, "Oh no, that's not for me either." So, but I've never had a job, so if I don't like you, take a hike. I don't have to deal with you. That's what I love about entrepreneurship. That's for sure. So what's coming up? What's the big vision for the show?
The big vision is to we're going to try to reach as many veterans, as many military as we can, the whole military family. And I want to go meet them where they are. That means everywhere because we are a very mobile community. We are overseas. Uh, we are in rural towns. We're in every city. And sometimes the first help that we need to go look for is the ones that are local to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to tell the stories, and it's about the organizations that are doing something to change, to impact life. It doesn't matter how small or how big they are. It's about the story, about what they're doing.
Yeah, and what I've enjoyed about the way I've helped the veterans is that I don't have to be local. So with the distance learning school, they can be anywhere. I don't know if you saw the military page on my school
Yes.
website, but helped lots of people all over the world, veterans. And then I was in the tribe. I gave lots of free training in there. And so they didn't have to travel. I didn't have to travel during COVID, and I could still help them. So I was really proud of that. So, and I got to meet you.
Thank you.
That's the best thing of all, right?
Yes.
You can't
Yes. And
argue
thank you
with
for
me
what
on
you're
that,
doing.
right?
No, definitely not.
So tell them so the vision for the show is to just help more and more and get the word out bigger, right?
Yes. And if we, one story that we tell, one episode that we tell, we're able to save one life, to stop them from taking that desperate measure, then we did our job.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So, well, thanks so much for coming on the show. And I want everybody to go to Amor Umbrella. And then is there links to the TV show there too? They can buy an umbrella and then see the show also?
Yes, they can, from the website, they can actually link to the Legacy TV app, and I can put that link as well directly, and they can go there directly.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, so thanks so much for coming on and the great work you're doing for veterans.
Thank you.
And wish your family well. And I know you're going to do great big things, because that's in the short time I've known you, that's what you're all about. So thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, everybody. That's just another one of our great, great, great veterans that have kept us safe all these years and sacrificed so much for us. And this is part of Vetrepreneur Month. That was Niurka Castaneda in Amor Umbrella TV. All right, everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode. See you later.